Hey folks, how's it going? As time goes on and more people discover me and discover the vinyl community, it's interesting because it's almost like in some ways you almost have to start over with people. But so what I'm about to say is kind of uh, I don't know if it's a necessarily explanation, but it feels like it's time to kind of just say that I really do appreciate the interaction, and I like making these videos, and I like reading the comments, um, and people are real. People are real with their comments, and I appreciate it. And so, all I can say is that what I'm presenting here is my life, and I have some kinks and crooks and idiosyncrasies um, that come out, and they just will, because it's my personal story. It's I'm not a disc jockey who's being paid. My interest in music and what I get out of it is just like anyone else. It's very personal and unique, but it's very important to me. And music indeed is a way of identifying with and identifying things. Um, I do identify with being more of an outsider than an insider. I've always been the sort of person who, as much as I like people, it's like the things that sometimes you have to do to curry favor with people, it has left a stain as well. So that comes out in my talking about stuff, and just bear with me because it's who I am. I'm just a human being. Along those lines, recently someone asked me, well, do you ever listen to soul music like the Bar-Kays or whatever? And it's like the answer is yes and no. um, I'll, I like to define I use music to define my space, and a lot of popular music that I'm surrounded by, it feels like I don't have a choice about it. And so a lot of popular music, I just, well, except on rare occasions, I generally choose to not play it in my home because it's just who I am. If you stayed with me this long, thank you, because I will actually show some records. I received Richard Lee is a VC member. I don't know if Richard's made any videos yet lately. The VC as an entity is huge now. It used to be kind of a small group of people, but now it's thousands of people. And so I've become aware that there were some what I consider core members who are active and inactive, but there are also all these other people that I've connected with that maybe that core group is not connected with, and maybe they have a perception that the VC is not happening, but it is. For example, someone that I've been catching and really enjoying his videos, and I know I would like you as a person, is Carm. He just recently showed his video where he went to a record show for the first time with Chris up in Illinois. So Carm is someone I'd be checking in with. John over in Greece, is it Karagiannis? If for example, Bostonian Reggie, I need to catch up with you, my friend. If you don't know those guys, check out their videos. There are a lot of people in this world making music videos, a lot. And I'm not a snob because I don't talk about the regular artists very much. One more attempt to explain. I want to, damn it, I want this to be understood by somebody. I've watched over the decades the gradual monopolization of the airwaves by corporations. Clear Channel owns the airwaves in America. Apparently it's the same all over the world, that big corporations own the airwaves and they control what you can hear. I greatly resent it, and I just remember how the golden era of radio, when the disc jockeys could play records, they could play stuff they wanted to play, and you got turned on to music. Now you don't have a choice. I resent that. And so as a result, it's like, I'll be damned if I'm going to play Eagles in my house. I'll be damned if I'm going to play Daryl and Hall and John Oates in my house. I'll be damned most of the time I'm going to play some fucking Fleetwood Mac, Stevie Nicks era, because I can't escape it in Nebraska. They shove it, they force it, feed it down our throats. I resent it greatly. And so that rubs off into my opinion and attitude about general mainstream music, because a lot of it is made as a product, not as a piece of art. So to get back to talking about what's new in my collection, Richard Lee had a contest, a subscription contest, I believe, and I was one of the winners. He sent me VCLT as well as my prize. The prize that I chose was this Ulver album, War of the Roses. I like Ulver. They're Scandinavian and they're somewhere from Europe, maybe Norway. It's considered, I guess, black metal, but this is really orchestral and symphonic and grand. And finally, I have some Ulver on vinyl. I've heard a little bit of their new album that they made with Sun. I really like that. It's big sound, majestic. But Richard was very kind to me because I had expressed to him my interest in this album. I used to have it. I don't know if I sold it or what, but he was kind enough to give it to me. Circle, Paris concert with Anthony Braxton, Chick Corea, Dave Holland, and Barry Altschul. This is an excellent album, an excellent live jazz album where the group is playing together on they're just playing together on an amazing level. Everyone, Anthony Braxton in particular in here is just amazing. So Richard Lee, thank you so much for this album, and I hope you're doing well. I think about you now and then. I haven't seen too many posts from you online, so I don't know what's up, but I do know that you had a major event in your life in the last 6 months, losing your mom, and I hope you're okay. I hope you're all right. Another VC member who I don't know if he makes videos, but he's real active online, so I feel like I'm getting to know him, is James Lawbon, and he had an emergency appendectomy. So I hope that, James, that you're recovering okay, that you're doing all right. Those are the two new records to my collection this week, Circle and Ulver. My other news, and I'll show some records, but I want to keep talking news, my other news is that this Friday of this week, March 21st, I'm having my last event at the art gallery where I'm an artist in residence. And what it's going to be is my official album release party for Flyover. And I'm excited. Hope people come. It's free. There's going to be food. There's going to be booze. To me, this is a celebration. It's like I want people to come down and buy the record. Obviously, I need people to come down and buy the record. It's not widely available just yet in Omaha, so that's one of the things I'm hoping is that people will come and buy the record from me. But it feels like quite an accomplishment to me, this whole thing, and the way it came out from working on the movie and working with Tim Guthrie on the art, and I want to share all that with people. So I'm hoping folks come. You folks that are in Omaha that may see this before Friday, please come to the album release party at the Carver, 24th and Lake. Don't be afraid. If you have an attitude about that part of town, you're wrong. Come on down. Other records sitting out that have been played. This got played loud. Super Furry Animals, Dark Days, Light Years. There's something about the way this album was recorded, engineered, and then cut. It is one of the best sounding records when I put the needle on it. It's just something about the way this record plays is just a magnificent. It's just cut beautifully. I'd almost say like a perfectly cut album. And it's so sonically warm and big. And these some great songs. I played this because I hadn't played it. It's a Zang Tum Tum sampled. ZTT is the label that brought us Propaganda, Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Seal, Trevor Horn was behind this label, Art of Noise, and this is an album, you could call it a remix, but they call it a sample album, an album of sampled versions of stuff off their label. It was an enjoyable ride. Played this, V. It's a compilation, Virgin Records compilation. And what I like about this is that the songs, several of the songs on this are exclusive to this. I love Hatfield and the North, the band. And the Hatfield song on here is exclusive to this. It's an exclusive mix of the song, only available on this album. Was going through records and looking, again, a process of discovery in my own home. I've had these albums for a while, and the last time I listened to this one was a dud. Charisma, an American band that was signed to Roulette Records. I read up about them on the internet, and according to what the internet says about them, it's the typical story that's happened to a lot of bands, especially labels like Roulette, who we know were mafia fronted. These guys never made a cent off these records. They just got ripped off just cold. They never made a cent. This album is okay, but their second album, Charisma, Beasts and Fiends, this is good. This is progressive, but they keep putting in those rock and roll blues elements in the way that I don't like, which is we'll use these populist elements to try and make people listen to us. That's what I hear when I hear a lot of popular music. It's like I just hear a lot of stuff besides what anyway. This is really good musically, and some of the compositions are really different. And then they'll go into a country song, and then they'll go into a blues song, and then they'll go into a long, extended mixture of jazz and classical. This had been sitting up in the shelves, you know, kind of unknown for a while. So it caught my eye, so I pulled them. This is a winner. This one is really, really, really good to listen to. Charisma, Beasts and Fiends. I looked them up, and they're collectible now. When I got these, I got them for $1. But this one is like, I saw it both places I found this. It was going for $100. But this is really good. Because the weather is, we're moving into spring, and my cousin next door is starting up his garden. He's out making, you know, a lot of noise. So yesterday, he hit a patch where he was playing one of his CDs that I know by heart. Shy Lights, Soul Children, Bobby Blue Bland. And it just makes me crazy because I've heard it forever. And so I put this on loud. Meshuggah, Obzin. Just to drown it out, you know. I've explained in a video in the past why I can't just go over and tell my cousin to not do this. I don't resent it, I understand, and so I live with it. And that's the newer stuff. Oh, a couple other things that I pulled. Lenny White, I forgot how much I like this album. Streamline, Lenny White, played drums with everybody. He was on Bitches Brew, he was in Return to Forever. He's played with everyone. When I saw Return to Forever, I got word that he and Al Di Meola were going to go down to the Howard Street Tavern after the show, and so I went down there, and sure enough, they showed up. And I sat with Lenny and Al for a while, had a beer, didn't really know what to talk about much except to their music, but I shared a beer with Lenny White, and this is a great album. Really good, really good. This is my idea of jazz rock done right with a touch of the coffee table aspect. In other words, I think what I mean by coffee table is music that is utilitarian. In other words, you could put the album on and have lunch with your girl, and it might get you in the mood. That's what I mean, okay? As opposed to music that's just made for your head. And another album I played yesterday morning that was just fantastic, just felt wonderful, is Un Poco Loco, Bobby Hutcherson, the Vibes player. Again, he's played with everybody too. I love good music. I love good music, but I'm more interested in music than hearing songs over and over again about "I love you," or just the common stuff of songs. Because it's not that I'm not romantic; it's just that I've chosen to mainly sit out from the game of relationships because it's painful and it makes me crazy. And so a lot of the songs that people want to hear that have you thinking about that stuff, I'm not drawn to that. So that's another aspect of why I listen to what I listen to.